Hello, this is Teja Gerken with Peghead Nation, and I'm here with Fender's new Acoustic Pro amplifier. When you think of guitar amplifiers, Fender is of course one of the first companies you think of in terms of electric guitar amps. Fender is one of the pioneers in the field. Classic amps, the Lux Reverb, Pro Junior, Twin Reverb, Princeton, the names go on and on and on. But the company has also been a major player in the world of acoustic amps for quite some time, and this is its latest effort to bring acoustic players an amp that can really give full range amplification of their instruments. The Acoustic Pro differs from Fender's earlier Acoustasonic amps by using a completely new cabinet design. It uses a multi-ply wooden shell for the primary cabinet, and it's really designed to look quite nice with a high-end acoustic instrument. Really goes with a nice wooden look. The front is covered with cloth, and underneath that is a rigid grille, so this is really more sturdy than it may appear on first glance. But what's really impressive about the amp, I find, is that Fender has managed to make it both simple to use and still give it powerful features. Just up front, the amp has 200 watts of solid-state power, so it's definitely powerful enough to use in a band setting, or if it's going to be your sole PA by yourself. The amp uses a 12-inch speaker with a neodymium magnet, so it's very efficient, and 12-inch speakers are a little bit bigger than what most acoustic amps use. So if you've been looking for a lot of low-end reproduction, this is probably a good choice. It also has a tweeter, so that the overall signal that's being represented is of a very full-range quality. Fender chose to keep the amp very simple to use, and I'm impressed with how they managed to do that. The amp has two identical channels. One on the left side here, one on the right, and each channel is identical. There's a combined 1/4 inch and XLR input, so you can run either a guitar or a microphone through it. You can get 16 volts of phantom power on each one of these, so you can use a condenser mic. There's a volume control, followed by reverb control, and what's essentially a 3-band EQ section with tunable mids. So you have low, mid-level, mid-frequency, and highs. And again, that's duplicated on both channels. I'm very impressed that Fender chose to put tunable mids on this amp, because I find that to be a very powerful tool anytime you're amplifying acoustic instruments. You can use it to dial out problem frequencies, sort of fine-tune the sound in a certain room. Sometimes it can be helpful to battle feedback, and personally I just find it much more useful than a simple single-band mid-range control. Each channel also has a phase reversal switch, and that really finishes up the front panel in terms of each channel's functions. Very easy to use. I was able to plug in and immediately get a good sound, and a lot of times having fewer features can actually be a useful thing on stage, as it's quick to dial in your sound and just get to where you need to go quickly. There are some more functions. There's an aux in, which you can use to plug in your iPod or CD player to provide a backup track or music while you're taking a break. And there's also a headphones jack. It's a mini jack right here, so you can listen to the amp with headphones, which actually cancels out the main speakers. The power light is also right here in the middle. And Fender actually designed to have a little bit of space in between the channels, so you could put your iPhone there and connect it there, or maybe even put an iPad there and have it not slide away like it would on many amps when you put it on top and the handle's in the way and all of that. Let's also take a quick look at the Acoustic Pro's back panel. We have an effects loop with 2/4 inch jacks right there, send and return with a switch that selects the signal strength. There's also a balanced line out, which you would use to go to a PA or perhaps to a recording console, and you can again choose whether you're sending a mic or a line level signal. And there's also a ground lift button right there. There's another 1/4 inch jack for an optional foot switch to turn on the reverb, and you have the power switch and a standard power receptacle right here. One nice feature about the amp is that it includes a switch to switch from 115 to 220 volts. So if you're traveling overseas, you're touring, you can use the same amp. You don't need to use power inverters for this. And of course, there's a fuse box right there as well. So again, simple but very useful functions right there on the back of the amp. In addition, on the bottom of the unit, Fender included a nice little kickstand that allows you to angle the amp up on stage a little bit to hear it a little bit better if you're standing up. So let me demonstrate the tunable mids on this amp for you a little bit. The rest of the functions are really very straightforward. I should show you the reverb. I've had a little bit of it on while I was playing earlier. It's just a reverb level control. You probably wouldn't ever need that much, but it's a nice sounding reverb with a nice tail. Doesn't sound grainy. Again, easy to use. But let's go back to the tunable mids. I've had them dialed in for playing earlier. I'm going to set them flat. I'm going to set all the EQ flat. Probably already hear a little bit of a difference. So if I was using these, I would probably turn my mid levels up completely and then sort of find the frequencies that I want to get rid of the most. Sometimes it might be something really high, sometimes it might be an offending, like in this case, I don't like these mid frequencies very much, so I'm going to dial them out. And I think earlier I had a little bit of low end added to this. I cut a little bit of the highs. And voila, I have a nice acoustic sound. In this guitar, I have a Baggs ribbon transducer pickup in there connected to a dual source system, but right now the under saddle pickup is what you're hearing. I'm not using any preamps going into the amp, so easy to get a good sound out of a basic system. Let me play the guitar a little bit more through this amp so you can listen to it. So in this case, I'm demonstrating it in a solo guitar context. I could totally see using this amp on stage, either as a monitor or for smaller shows all by itself, a house concert, a coffee shop, that sort of thing. It would really do a great job being my own little PA. I could run a vocal mic through it, either for singing through it or announcing what I'm doing. And also quite portable. It's about 27 pounds, so it's lighter than it looks from its size, and I could easily see carrying this in one hand, carrying my guitar in the other. I've been demonstrated with a guitar. Most people think of acoustic amps as acoustic guitar amps, but these amps are really made to be used with all acoustic instruments that need a full range representation of their sound. It's really more like a mini PA than a traditional guitar amp in that they try not to color the sound. So we're also going to get Peghead Nation's Dan Gabel demonstrating the amp with a Collins mandolin that uses an LR Baggs pickup on it. So that's Fender's new Acoustic Pro. It's a very cool new amp, very unique design, easy to use features, and great sound. So definitely check it out if you're in the market for a new acoustic instrument amp, and please come back here to Peghead Nation to check out our other gear demos. My name is Teja Gerken.